This is page 8, and we have question 9. Adam had 110 more marbles than Ben, and Ben lost 129 marbles to Ben. That means Ben gained 129 marbles as well. How many marbles did Ben have at first? Well, let's take this apart and just write a few equations based on what we know. All right. So firstly, Adam had 110 more marbles than Ben. So Adam equals Ben plus 110. All right. So Adam has more marbles than Ben. All right. Okay. Now Adam lost 129 marbles. So how many does he have now? Adam minus 129 marbles. That's how much he's got now. All right. What about Ben? Ben, on the other hand, after losing 129 marbles, of course, these 129 marbles will be added to Ben's lot. So now Ben has B plus 129. All right. So this is how many marbles they have now. All right. Now it says here, after losing the game, Ben had 5 times as many marbles as Adam, which means Ben has more. All right. Okay. So Ben has more. In fact, 5 times more. So we just multiply that by 5. Right? 5 times of what Adam has left after losing the marbles is equal to what Ben has now. All right. So that's pretty simple. Let's see we can work this out. Once we have understood what the question means, it then becomes just a pure maths problem. We just need to work it out. All right. Now we already know that A, or Adam, equals B plus 110. So we're just going to put it in there. All right. B plus 110. We're just going to substitute A for B plus 110. So 5B plus 110 minus 129 equals B plus 1 plus B plus 129. All right. Let's simplify this. B 110 minus 129, that's minus 19, equals B plus 129. All right. You don't have to jump ahead too much. You know, just do step by step, small little steps, show all you're working out, make sure you get as many marks as possible, even if you get the final answer wrong. But we won't get the final answer wrong. So 5B minus 5 times 19 is 95. All right, so 5B minus 95 equals to B plus 129. All right. Okay, let's solve this. B, bring this B over to the other side. We've got 5B minus 1B, so that's 4B, is equal to 129 plus 95. So that bring this over to that side, becomes positive 95, and that should give us 224. Right? A lot of this you can do it mentally. B, therefore, is equal to 224 divided by 4, and we can do that mentally as well. That equals to 56. All right. So Ben has 56. How many marbles did Ben have at first? 56. That's correct. Now let's have a look at this question here. And this question here says, in this figure below, we've got 2 parallel lines. All right. This is also a straight line. And we have here a isosceles triangle. All right. Find this angle here, A, B, C. All right. So this is the angle that we want to find. All right. Let's see how we can work it out. Well, at first glance, you think, wow, you know, this is a huge diagram here. Lots of different concepts. All right. Well, firstly, let's deal with the isosceles triangle. Okay, so we have the isosceles triangle here. That's 40. So we know with the isosceles triangle, the opposite angle at the base is also equal to 40. So that is also equal to 40. All right. And we also know that in a parallelogram situation, we got 2 parallel lines, right? That the alternate angle is also 40. So that is also 40. All right. Now we know that in a isosceles triangle, or in fact any triangle, the total of all 3 angles add up to 180. So we got 40 and 40, that's 80. So this here must be 100. All right, that angle there must be 100. Now, lo and behold, we see in fact that we have a complete circle now. All right, so what is B? We know that a full circle is 360 degrees. 360 degrees minus 69 minus 40 minus 100 should give us that angle B. And what is the answer here? Well, let's use the calculator. 360 minus 69 minus 40 minus 100. 151. And the answer is 151, and that's correct. Next page. Okay, so this is page 9. Let's have a look at this question here, which is question 11. Mrs. Lee baked some cookies. So let's say that these cookies, let's call that X. All right. She gave 1/5 of them to the neighbors. So that's 1/5 of X. All right. And also packed 1/3 of the remaining. All right. 1/3 of the remaining. So she gave 1/5 to the neighbors. So she's got 4/5 remaining. All right. Let's write it here. 4/5 and times 1/3. So 1/3 of the remaining. Remaining is 4/5, and 1/3 of the remaining is 4/5 times 1/3. To the son's party. She now baked another 594 cookies, and then now she found that she had twice the number of cookies that she had baked at first, right, which is 2x, twice the number she had baked at first. Okay, let's put all this into a equation. So x is what she started with. She gave this much to her neighbors, right? So minus what she gave to the neighbors, and minus what she gave to her son's class party, which is that's an x as well, right? So 4/5 times 1/3 x, right? So she's left with 4/5, and she gave 1/3 of that away to the son's class party. And then she baked another 594, so plus 594. And after all of that, she found that she had twice as many cookies as she had baked at first. Right, so she baked too many. Equals 2x over there. Okay, so let's see how we can solve this. Again, once we have interpreted what the question is, it just simply becomes a very simple math problem. All right, so let's see how we can get all of this down and find what x actually is. All right, so let's see here. All right, x minus 1/5 x minus, let's multiply this together. So that's 4 on 3 times 5, 15 x plus 594 equals 2x. All right, just do small steps at a time so that we can keep track of what we're doing. All right, so we're going to add these three together. We need a common denominator of 15. So that's 15 on 15x minus 3 on 15x, right, times 3 top and bottom, minus 4 15x plus 594 equals 2x. All right, so let's add, or rather subtract these. 15 minus 3 minus 4 will give you 8. So 8 on 15x plus 594 is equal to 2x. All right. Okay, so what can we do now? Now let's bring this over to that side. So 594 equals to 2x minus 8 on 15x. 594 is equal to, let's make this 30 out of 15. All right, so common denominator, x minus 8 on 15x. So 594 is equal to 30 minus 8 is 22 on 15x. Now, I like to have the x term over to the left-hand side. It's just what I'm used to. So I'm just going to take an extra step to just move this around to the left-hand side. So 22 on 15x is equal to 594. Okay, and therefore x is equal to 594 divided by 22 times 15. All right, and just going to do a quick calculation with my calculator here. 594 divided by 22 times 15, and that's 405. All right, so she baked 405 in the first place. Let's read the question again and see what is required. How many cookies did she give to her neighbors? Now we know that she gave 1/5 x to the neighbors, so therefore 1/5 x to the neighbors is equal to 405 divided by 5, and that should equal to a nice whole number, 81. All right, 405, which is x. How many she baked at first? She gave 1/5, so divided by 5, you got 81. And the answer here is 81. Next page. Okay, so here we are on page 10 and question 12. Just one question for this page. We got part A and part B. Now this question is in relation to ratios, and I think it's very important for me to draw a distinction between ratios and fractions. Well, let's look at an example. If we have a ratio of 1:2, it basically means that here we have 1/3, which is 1 over the total, which is 3, 1/3, and on this side we've got 2/3, which is 2 over the total of 3. All right, so that's the difference between ratio, that's a ratio, 1:2, and this is a fraction. We've got 1 out of 3, and here we got 2 out of a total of 3 as well. Okay, so that's the difference between a ratio and a fraction. So I think with that understanding, let's see how we can tackle this question. The ratio of adults to children is 3:2. All right, so adults, we've got 3 plus 2 is 5. So we've got 3 out of 5 are adults, right, of total people. All right. Children, we've got 2 out of 5, right? 2 out of 5 of total people are children. All right. Now, of these children, we've got girls and boys in a ratio of 4:5. Okay, so we have here 4 and 5 plus 4 is 9. So 4 9s are girls. All right, and of course the opposite, which is 5 9s are boys. Okay, so that's my understanding of this question. Right, so how many, the question, part A is, what is the proportion of girls over the total number of people? Well, girls is 4/9, and children is 2/5. Right, so 4/9 of 2/5 of the total is quite simply 4/9 multiplied by 2/5. They'll give us 4 times 2 is 8 over 9 times 5 is 45. Right, so 4/45 of the whole number of people who attended the Funfair are girls. All right, now what is this as a percentage? All right, so it's requiring you to state this not as a fraction but rather as a percentage. So as a percentage, 8 over 45 times 100, that'll give me a percentage, right, which is 800 over 45. And 800 over 45, you can use a bit of a calculation here. Well, we need to keep this as a fraction. So 800 divided by 45, we got 17 and some left over. All right, but instead of putting 17.7777, it says here, leave it as a fraction. Okay, all right. So we got 17 whole numbers here. 17 times 45 is 765. So in fact, we've got a remainder of 35 over 45. Right? What's that equal to in the simplest form? Divide by 5. 45 divided by 5 is 9. 35 divided by 5 is 7. So that's the final answer there, and that's in percentage. All right, 17 and 7/9 as a percent. And the answer here, 17 and 7/9%. That's correct. All right. Now let's look at part B of this question. Part B says, and I need a bit more space. Let me just create some space there, and we do the working out on this side. All right. Okay. So how many boys visited the Funfair? Now we need to look at this extra information here. All right. Okay. Now let's say, for example, let's say, right, X people attended. Okay, so the total number of people is X. So let's see adults. Adults, we can see here adults. This is adults. Adults is 3/5. All right, so 3/5 times X, which is the number of people. Right, these people paid $10. $10 for the adult. All right, and let's do a different color here. Children is 2/5. Right, 2/5 of X, and these people or these children paid $6. Okay, so plus that. All right, equals to a total of $21,168. All right, so we just need to solve this. So we got 10 times 3 is 30 over 5x plus 6 times 2, 18 over 5x equal 21,168. All right, let's add these two together. Sorry, 6 times 2 is not 18. 6 times 2 is 12. Right. 6 times 2 is 12 on 5. Okay. Yep. Yep, that's right. Okay. So 30 plus 12 is 42 on 5x equals 21,168. And therefore x is equal to 21,168 divided by 42 times 5. And we just bring our calculator in. 21168 divided by 42 times 5 is equal to 2520 people. So the total number of people who attended the Funfair is 2,520. Now, the question is, how many boys attended the Funfair? All right. So we know boys, well, actually, let's calculate how many children first. All right. Children is equals to 2520 times, we know children is 2/5 of the total, 2/5. So that's times 2 divided by 5. We got 1008 children. All right. Now what about boys? Boys is equal to 5/9 of the children. So 1008 times 5/9, all right, is equal to, so that's 1008 times 5 divided by 9 is equal to 560 boys. And that's the final answer there. And the answer here, 560 boys, that's correct as well. All right, next page. On page 11, we have this figure here, which is, all I can say is wow. You know, this is a big semicircle here, two smaller identical semicircles, and here we got a right angle triangle, 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, and the hypotenuse being 5 centimeters. So the first question here is find the perimeter. Okay, well, let's work out the perimeter. We got a bit of space down the bottom here. All right. Okay, so let's deal with this circle first. Right. So let's deal with this here. Right. Okay, so we know the perimeter of a circle is equals to pi d, right, which is 3.14 multiplied by 5. And so the answer there, putting that into your calculator, should give us 15.7, right? But 15.7 is the full circle. So half a circle, right, or a semicircle, is 15.7 divided by 2, which is equal to 7.85. Okay, so that's that part there. Okay, now what about these two semicircles here? Well, the two semicircles will give you one full circle with a diameter of 2, right? So we have again pi d equals to 3.14 multiplied by the diameter here is 2, right? 2, which is equal to 6.28, right? So that's the whole thing here, the full circle, okay? The full thing there. And the line as part of the triangle here, that's 3. So add these three things together, total perimeter is equal to 7.85 plus 6.28 plus 3. Let's do a quick calculation there. Just make sure we got it correct. 7.85 plus 6.28 plus 3, and that's 17.13 centimeters. Right? Checking the answer here, 17.13 cm. That's correct. Okay. Now let's deal with the second part here. Second part of the question says find the area. And let me do it in a different pen. Let's choose red. Right. Find the area of the figure, correct to 2 decimal places. Well, let's deal with this one here first. All right. So what's the area of this? Area of this is equal to pi r squared, but because it's a semicircle, divide by 2. So 3.14, r is 2.5, 2.5 squared over 2. So let's do that. 2.5, I don't have a squared button here on my calculator because it's a very simple one. I'm sure you've got a squared button on yours. Times 2.5, that's basically squared, times 3.14 equals, divided by 2, and that's 9.8125. Okay. Now this one here is actually fairly simple because this part here sticking out would minus this part here that was taken away. All right. So this whole thing here is really just the area of the triangle. So that part there, area, is equal to 3 times 4 divided by 2. 3 times 4 divided by 2, which is equal to 12 divided by 2, that's 6. Right? So total area is equal to 6 plus 9.8125. That'll give me 15.8125. And that's the final answer there. Let's have a look. Correct to 2 decimal places. Okay, so it only wants 2 decimal places. So area is equal to 15.81 to 2 decimal places. To 2 decimal places. 15.81. 15.81 as the answer, and that's correct there. 15.81. Next page. This is page 12, question 14. So we got two parts to this question here, looking at firstly at figure A. Let's do our calculations for figure A on the left hand side, and that's for part A. And for part B, we'll do our calculations here just below figure B. All right. So firstly, we need to work out what is the area, or sorry, not area, what is the total volume of this entire structure, right? We know the top bit. The volume of the top is equal to 4 times 4 times 28. 4 times 4 times 28. Right? That should give us 448 centimeter cube. You can put that into your calculator, which I have. Let's look at the volume of the bottom. So volume of the bottom is equal to 25 times 8 times the height, right? The height there is 40 minus 28, so that's 12, right? Times 12. All right, so 25 times 8 times 12, that should give us 2,400 centimeter cube. All right, so therefore the total volume is equal to 2848 centimeter cubed, which is equal to 2.848 liters. All right. So the water that we have in there, is 2.656 liters. All right, that's given here. Okay. So if there's this much water in there, how much more water is needed to fill this container? So we just minus that, and here we get the answer should be 0.192 liters, or that can also mean 192 centimeter cube. All right, so either one of these answers should be correct. Either you can state it as 0.192 liters or 192 milliliters, or otherwise you can say 192 centimeter cube. And that's the answer there, 192 centimeter cube. That's correct. All right, but I would think if you had put 192 milliliters, that should be correct as well. You get full marks for that. Okay, so part B. Let's have a look at part B here. The container containing this amount of water has been toppled over, so it goes down like this on the side. What is the height of this water level there? And let's say that's the height there. The question mark is the height. Okay. So we have the total amount of water is 2656 centimeter cube. All right. What is the volume? Of course, some of the water will go into this section here. So we're going to subtract the volume of this section. So minus the volume of the top. All right. Minus, we already know that's 448 centimeter cube. So what's left over? What's left over is 2208 centimeter cube. All right, this is the water in the larger section. All right, that's the water in this larger section here. All right, so we know that the height should be, well, the base, that's 8 times 25. So 8 times, sorry, not 25, it topples over this way, so it's 8 times 12, right? So that's 8, and that's 12, right? So 8 times 12 times the height should equal to the volume of the water, 2208, all right? So 8 times 12 is 96. H is equal to 2208. Therefore, H is equal to 2208 divided by 96 equals, let's bring out a calculator and I hope I get this correct. 2208 divided by 96 equals to 23 centimeters. And checking the answer there, 23 centimeters is the correct answer. That's the height. Next question. And this is page 13, question 15. Tim and Ravi had 6,894. Tim gave 20% of his money to Ravi. Ravi then spends 40% of his money, and they had 5,518 left. So how much money did Ravi have at first? Well, let's call Tim T, and let's call Ravi R. So firstly, we know T plus R is equal to 6894. Okay, so let's just remember that. That's one of the important equations. Let's have a look at the next part here. Okay, now this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. So how much has Tim got left after all these operations here? So Tim gave 20% of his money to Ravi, right? So Tim has, how much has he got left? He's got 0.8 T, right? So that's how much he's got left after he gives his money away. He's got 80% left, right? How much money does Ravi have? Well, Ravi has R, okay, right, which is what he had originally, plus 0.2 T, which is what Tim gave him. All right, so that's what he's got. But then he spent 40% of his money, which means he's got 60% left. All right, so times 0.6, that's 60%. So that's what he's got left in the end. All right, now we know that what Tim has got left plus what Ravi has got left, we add these two together, equals to 5518. All right. Okay, so now let's just treat this as a maths problem, and let's figure out and just simplify this. All right, so here we have 0.8 T plus 0.6 R plus 0.6 times 0.2 T, so that's 0.12 T equals 5518. All right. Let's sum the two T's together. So 0.8 plus 0.12 is 0.92, 0.92 T plus 0.6 R, and that's equal to 5518. All right. Okay, now let's look at the next step. We have R here. Okay, now let's have a look at this one here. R is equal to 6894 minus T. Okay, so let's substitute that into this R here, right? So 0.92. Actually, let me do it the other way around. Let's do T, right, is equal to 6894 minus R. All right, so here 0.92, we substitute for T because we want to find what Ravi has at first. So we want to find what R is. So we want to leave R in this equation here. All right, so we want to get rid of T. So T is that figure there, 6894 minus R plus 0.6 R equals to 5518. Okay, so we multiply these two together. So let's take out my calculator. 0.92 times 6894 equals 6342.48 minus 0.92 R plus 0.6 R equals 5518. Okay, all right. Okay, so what are we going to do now? We're going to have 6342.48 minus 5518 equals, we're going to bring this to the right hand side, 0.92R, and bring this to the right hand side, it becomes minus, 0.6R. Okay, so this number minus 5518 is equal to 824.48 is equal to 0.92 minus 0.6 is equal to 0.32R. Let's swap it around because, as you know, I always like to have the variable on the left hand side, 824.48, and therefore R is equal to 824.48 divided by 0.32, and that's 2,576 and 50 cents. Right? That's what Ravi had in the beginning. Let's check that with our answer, 2,576 and 50 cents. And that's correct. Next page.